Mahadev. Mars Ketu conjunction, which is one of the most interesting, powerful conjunction in Vedic astrology. What are the results and how this powerful native of Mars Ketu? Let's figure it out in this video today. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and watch till the end. So, what is Ketu? Ketu is the body of Rahu, which is the south node of the moon, which is a shadow planet which works behind the scene, and it helps us cogitate, introspect, go inward and understand that we are one with God, and we have to detach from all this material prospect of life. So, what is Mars? Mars is the willpower within us. It is the fighting mechanism, the fighting spirit, the survival instinct, because of which we live, because of which humanity has progressed thus far. So, when Mars and Ketu come together in one house, one sign, what happens? Here, there is a saying in Hindi, Kujavat Ketu. Ketu behaves like Mars. So, there is a subtle similarity. What is the similarity? Ketu represents the achievements of the previous births. What we have already conquered in the previous lives, that represents Ketu. And Mars is about what we have to conquer in this life, where we have to go, how we have to fight, where we have to exercise our free will, our willpower, and put that flag of Ketu, that is called Mars. So, there is that similarity. Now, when both of them come together in one house, one sign, this similarity becomes into a conflict. Why? Because Ketu represents the things which you have already conquered, which you have already achieved in the previous births. But Mars is about achieving those in this life. So, Ketu tells the Mars, hey, you don't need to work on this anymore. You have already done it. We both have already done it in the previous birth. Now, you are supposed to re-realize it and let go of it, emotionally detach from it and understand the significance of the fighting ability, of the survival instinct, of the willpower, the importance of having a free will. All of this, just realize and let them go. Ketu tells the Mars like that, but Mars doesn't want to listen. So, there is that conflict. Now, I have explained many times in my previous videos that whenever there is that association of other planets with Ketu, what happens in the previous life, those planets' significance were almost developed, as if they were completely developed in the previous births. So, here what it means, Mars Ketu person, he or she was a extremely powerful person in the previous birth. They had all that Martian qualities, tremendous amount of free will, tremendous amount of willpower. They could have been an army general or a warrior or some kung fu monk or God knows what, So, all those Martian qualities would have been there in that person. So, when they are born again in this life and gotten this association of Ketu, these Martian things again has to be re-realized, or they have those significance, whatever was left, that has to be again be completed, so that the person reaches the ultimate goal and it pushes the person towards that ultimate realization. Okay, but that has to happen in a Ketu way. It has to happen in a Ketu way. And Ketu represents what? Disassociation, detachment, cutting off things. Ketu is the surgeon. He cuts away things from our life. Ketu, that's why gives us too much of pain, right? We don't like Ketu. So, because Ketu takes away things from us. So, here this person, he wants to exercise those Martian things. He wants to go to the gym again. He wants to go become that judo fighter. He goes into the school and he takes that judo class and he wants to practice. And then some goof off happens and he has to leave that class. Ketu takes away. Oh, you want to be a black belt in judo? Wait, I'll show you. Then he again grows up and he goes to the gym and he goes into the MMA fight, mixed martial art class, and there also something happens, he has to leave that class. So tremendous amount of frustration comes whenever they have to exercise their Martian power, their Mars. They want to exercise their willpower, do something which they really desire, really wish to do. Ketu doesn't let him do that. Ketu cuts away. Oh, you want to do this? Okay, I will not let you do. You want to fight with that guy? Wait, I will not let you fight with that guy. So these are the problem. So because of all this frustration which Ketu brings in and doesn't let the Mars to function openly, and comfortably, this person boils within, his anger boils within, frustration boils within, animosity and resentments against those people who made him angry, those lies within, and they somehow become very angry within, and very, very agitated from inside. And yet they remain calm. They don't, burst out of anger. But there are triggers. These people can get triggered by others because they are now tolerating, frustrated within, unable to fight, unable to do that, finish that argument, unable to punish that boy who bullied him in the school. So all of this kept on boiling inside, and when some trigger happens, some big trigger, then they burst out of anger, and that is like very dangerous. So then they can beat the shit out of somebody. So that's why they are very powerful. So these people, they can go into army, they can go into armed forces, they can go into any places where those Martian energies are there. They do like to become that boxer, they do like to become that karate, that kung fu classes they want to join. So because they want to exercise that Martian things, right? Whether Ketu allows them or not, the previous births impressions in their bio memory, in the moon or on their soul, they carry that and they want to express that. So there comes that dilemma and difficulties. So they somehow have to go through with all of this frustration and agitations and not being able to fight when the time comes. Not when the time comes, when like they really want to. But when the time comes, these are the people, those who are always ready to fight. When the time comes, as I said, the trigger, right? So they can also be in those sectors like firefighters, NDRF, National Disaster Management, that one, that force, that aeroplane crashed, those people went. So those people, rescue team, those are ready to rescue other people. So these kind of people, because they all have all that Martian energy tamed within them, somehow suppressed, and they want to that exercise, so they look, but they can't. So they have to, wait for the right moment. Wait. Things are boiling up. Two gangs are fighting. Now I'll go and fight with them. So these are the people, and others are very afraid of them when they are like they have somehow tamed the energy. But at the initial level, it is very difficult. They can be nuisance. They can react most of the time. But later on, if they properly tame these energies and exercise these energies when required, not all the time, when required, then they can be one of the most strongest people of character. They have a tremendous amount of strength of character, resilient, lot of power of the power of goodness will be there within them. So that is why they end up becoming those the so-called generous, very powerful, good people, right? Those saving lives, NDRF, right? People, flood is happening, earthquake is happening, they are going and they are saving lives, right? What a greatest work is saving somebody's life, right? Becoming a emergency trauma surgeon. Somebody got shot 3 times, here one, and that surgeon is called. You have to come immediately, and he immediately comes. He drives his car and he goes to that emergency surgery room, and he operates and he saves the person's life. Those kind of people, those who are actual heroes, hero on time hero, not like the fake heroes. When the time comes, they show what kind of hero they are. Okay, so this is like really good. But initially they have to go through these frustrations, and people trigger them, people make them angry. Because see, everything comes at a cost. You just can't become you are born and you become a Kung Fu monk, Joda. No, you have to work on that, right? Nobody becomes a Kung Fu monk right after his birth, right? They practice. So that is why self-control is strength and calmness is mastery. So this calmness which the Ketu Mars people are supposed to possess, that comes at a cost, comes at a time. It doesn't just come just like that. So they have to go through these sufferings, these fights and these animosities, and they will be those viddesh, dvesh, which is resentments or animosities. They will carry within. He insulted me, I could not do anything. That lady did something to me, he said something bad, and he did that teacher did that bad, my father told me this, he told me that. All of this nonsense which we carry within, right, that has to be washed away, that has to be removed. Then only you can become calm and can be the person of self mastery. So when you go through all of this shit and you actually become calm, then you become that actual hero who acts when it is required him to act, who is a calm and absolutely very, very strong, powerful person who doesn't fear anyone, who has conquered fear. Martian people are all about fearlessness. They are hero. Martian people are the policemen, the army men. They are ready to go fight war for us so that we can be safe and secure inside our homes, right? The police and the army men. So these are the energies these people possess. But those frustrations and angers, the anger management, all of this has to be worked upon continuously. As I said, self-control is strength and calmness is mastery. It is the calm person who is strong, not the person who always fights, not the person who always reacts, not the person who always gets triggered. Right? All the time, if you get triggered, then you are not a calm person, right? If anybody comes and can trigger you, anybody comes and insults you and makes you angry, then what kind of self-controlled person you are, right? So these are the things you have to practice. I don't want to make the video long because you people don't watch when I make the video long. So I hope you got the gist of this conjunction, and this is how you have to work. Control your anger, and this anger management has to be taken into very seriously. And they also suffer sometimes social social anxiety, or sometimes in the initial stages, or they would lack social intelligence, how to interact with everyone, because they are like somehow afraid if somebody will make me angry or make me not feel good. So these are the things they have to be careful about. But for main thing is not getting triggered, not becoming angry, and understanding that Ketu wants that Mars to calm down and Mars to realize its significance and somehow detach. I know I can fight, yes, yet I wish not to fight, right? I know I can beat the shit out of that man, but I will not beat. That is strength. Okay. So that kind of strength Ketu wants you to give. Okay. So most people, you've seen many movies, right? We say action movies, no? that hero will come and he is like very calm. They are like, oh, boo, boo, boo. Not the Bollywood movies, those are nonsense. So, they are like very calm, and because he knows they are nothing, These other peoples are, they are just, what do you call, air bubbles. So, that kind of strength and calmness you have to master. And you see, I want to end by telling you this story. This is that one Kung Fu monk, he and one of his disciples were walking down an street, and some thugs came, 3-4 thugs, and he's a Kung Fu monk, imagine. So the thugs came and tried to snatch his belongings, his one jhola and all of that. So he snatched, and that Kung Fu monk didn't do anything. He gave him. So the disciple asks his master, Master, why did you let him take all this, your bag and all of that belongings? Why didn't you do anything? So he said, how can I use these hands, using which I break rocks, bend irons on those poor little thieves? So that is strength, my friend. Okay. So this kind of strength you have to bring within. Not by becoming a Kung Fu monk, that is an example. Okay. You have to become calm from within. Okay. Then only this conjunction will have balance. Okay. Ketu will be happy, Mars will be happy, and you no longer will have the urge to fight and to go to the gym every day, or run 10 miles every day. You don't need to run 10 miles every day, right? So that is what you have to understand. So I hope I have made some sense and this could help. And if you want to worship someone, you worship Hanumanji, become an ardent devotee of Hanuman, become an ardent devotee of Muruga, who is Subramanya Swami, who is Kartikeya, the eldest son of Shiva, and ultimately Mahadev, Shiva, because Mangal, which is Mars, is the sweat drop of Shiva. Mangal came into existence through a sweat drop from here like this, it dropped onto the earth and Mangal came into existence. So you worship Shiva, Hanumanji, which is none other than the 11th avatara of Shiva. You worship Hanumanji and Kartikeya. If you are from the southern part of India, then you must be knowing about Subramanya Swami or Muruga. You worship him or you worship Hanumanji. Okay. I wish you all the best. Har Har Mahadev. Har Har Mahadev.